Savannah News TV. Tune in and watch Savannah News TV. We are live. Savannah. We create awareness about happiness in Africa. Savannah News TV. We are distinct, we are focused to deliver top-notch news in Savannah News TV. Equitable reporting without fear or favor. Savannah News TV. To set positive change for us and our environment is our aim. Savannah News TV. Tune in and watch Savannah News TV. We are live. Savannah News TV. Our CEO Prince Radekonde Olujimi Jaffa. Savannah News TV. I'm a living witness. Keep watching Savannah News TV. Like and subscribe to our page on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at Savannah News TV.
Good morning, my viewers across the globe. You are welcome to Savannah News Television live studio in Toronto, Canada. The time is exactly 3:54 a.m. in Canada, Toronto time, because Canada has different times in Canada. That is Toronto time, and I'm sure we're talking about almost 10 o'clock in Nigeria, 5 minutes to 10 a.m. in Nigeria. And as we promised you, we said we are bringing a barrister at law and a human rights activist. I'm talking about Barrister Omoshua Olufemi Mayor. He is a human rights lawyer, a public affairs analyst, and also the executive director, African Masses Parliament. And so we are bringing him here to do justice to, the political situation going on in Nigeria. And before that, we will just quickly glance at the newspaper of today to see what is really happening in today's newspaper in Nigeria, in Africa, and the world. First of all, we felicitate with the Moroccan team for breaking the jinx for the first time at the World Cup. We say congratulations to Africans and congratulations to the Moroccan team. Straight to the newspaper of today, we pick from the Punch. Bleak yellow tide looms as food prices orders soars. Sack Randy lecturers, Buhari tells varsities. How my wife dumped me. That is coming from the ace comedian Julius Agu. As you can recollect, Agu went for brain surgery some years back, and surprising that the wife she has left him. Why there is backlog of U.S. visa appointments? That is coming from the Consul General. I think this one we have to let us see. We want to read it out. Really, let us go to the news proper on this very one, because it's very, very important. The United States Consul General in Lagos, Will Stevens, speak with Tunde Ajaja about collaborations between the two countries, reason for the backlog of visa applications, 2023 elections, and the forthcoming U.S. African Leaders Summit in Washington. We want to see where he said the backlog. That is where we are concerned now because of time. If you pick the Punch newspaper today, you get that full story there, and I would have been very okay. I think we have it now. This is the question. Currently, interview appointments for fresh visa applications have extended to 2024, while we are still in 2022. Is there a surge in the number of Nigerians seeking to travel to US, or something else is responsible for this backlog? That is the question thrown at the Consul General. And he said, we have a big backlog and we are working hard to dig into it. It has dropped quite a bit in the last 2 months. We have increased the eligibility for people to use what we used to call drop box. That's the good news. We have increased the eligibility for people to use what we used to call drop box. You remember drop box in those days? There's some years back. If you have traveled to the US before, maybe you have US visa and then it's expired. Maybe you have 2 years, 5 years. Instead of you to appear to appear physically, you just go there and just drop it. You drop it to DHL and whatever, and you take it to the embassy for processing of your renewal visas, which is interview waiver. That is the drop box here. If you have a visa that expires in the last 4 years, you don't have to come in for an interview. Are you hearing now? My friends that has visas that expired in the last 4 years. If your US visa expires in the last 4 years, you don't need to go to the US embassy for interview. No. If your visa expires in the last 4 years, you don't need to go to the US embassy for another interview. What you have to do is just to drop your passport, which is Dropbox. That is the latest news from the US Consul General in Lagos. The window used to be 2 years, but now it's 4 years. Initially, it's even 4 years. If your visa expires, initially it's 2 years. If your visa expires in the last 2 years, you can just drop it. Now, it's if your visa expires in the last 4 years. That is, your visa expires we are in 2022. If your visa expires in 2018, for instance, you can still do a drop box before the end of this year. That is how to just drop it. Just drop it. That means many more people don't have to come in for an interview. We have also increased staffing by adding more people so we can deal with the surge. COVID-19 really hit us in terms of staffing. Some people left and we had to conduct interviews and go through the process. But now we are back to full staffing. I'm optimistic that it may take some time, but we will get there. I think there is an incredible demand and interest. One of the things we have done is to prioritize key sectors like student visas for people who want to travel on time for the September resumption and now for January. You see, they have increased visa for, they have increased whatever, what's it called it now? They have prioritized like for student visa so that they will process their whatever and on time. That is a very good one. We had a 12% increase this year in the number of Nigerians studying in the US after almost 15,000 Nigerians in the US, which put Nigeria in the top 10 countries that send students to the US. It is a wonderful thing. They go and study and they come back with deep connection to the US. Talk of the optional practical training which enable them to work for some time after they graduate. I can tell you that how many Nigerians who spend some time in the US working and studying and they brought that experience back to Nigeria. I think it's really good thing and we are we are right to focus on that. The backlog is still there, and we are working hard on it, and I think we will get the figure down. But like I said, there's decrease in the waiting list, and it has gone down quite significantly. For example, the waiting time for B1, B2 has dropped from 740 days to 443 days. They have dropped almost half percent. What the US Embassy is now saying that those of you that have expired visa for 4 years ago, you don't have to go to the embassy. Just do what you call a Dropbox. Dropbox, I think some people handle it. Maybe DHL, other courier service, they handle it. Just drop it and they will just take it to the US Embassy. You don't need to go start looking for appointment to appear for a Dropbox. That's what I'm telling you. It was initially 2 years expiring date if your visa expired for the past 2 years, but now they have increased it. If it expires 4 years ago, just go and drop your passport. And also, they have prioritized students' visas so that our students, those apply for Nigerian, they can be called for interview on time, so that they can meet up with their schooling abroad. That is a very good one. And also that for the waiting time for the B1, B2, which I think that is the visiting visa, initially it was 740 days. That is, can you imagine? 740 days, that's about 2 years. It has now dropped to 443 days. 443 days is still more than a year. God help us. People people are just willing to jump to jackpot from that country. Having said that, without wasting your time, I think I will have to bring in our guest this time around. I'm talking about Barrister Omoshuwa Olufemi Mayor, a human rights activist and a public affairs analyst, and is also the executive director, African Masses Parliament. I'm trying to reach to him now. Let me just try and call his line. I hope we're going to have a very good network this time around. Just trying to get across to him, and let's see if we get there on time. Okay, I think we are lucky to get him on time. I'm bringing him on board right now. In the next few seconds, Barrister Omoshuwa will be with us. Good morning, Barrister. You are welcome to Savannah News Television live studio in Toronto, Canada.
Good morning, Nigerians all over the world. Good morning, Lee Joka, Jaff, the man that has relentlessly and unabatedly decided to fight the battle of faith, F-A-T-E, battle of righteousness, battle of justice, which everyone on earth needs to fight before emancipation. Good morning to Savannah News TV, Ontario, Canada.
Thank you, Barrister. Thank you, Barrister. And to my viewers across the world, as you are watching us on our Facebook page, please kindly just type where you are watching from. If you are watching from Lagos, just say I'm watching from Lagos. If you are watching from Johannesburg, just type I'm watching from Johannesburg. Those watching from London, just type I'm watching from London. So I want to know where our viewers are coming from. And also, you can as well, if you want to have any question, put it on that comment section on the Facebook for the guest, for our guest here. We will read your message out for the guest in case you want to make some clarification, or you also want to have an addition to what he is talking about. We will now read it, and we we will transport it straight to our guests. Having said that, Barrister, welcome again to the to Savannah News Television. Without wasting your time, I know you are a very busy person. We want to hit the road immediately on this program. And first on the list is we want to talk about the political terrain in Nigeria. You know, we are in the heat of it right now, and the gladiators are there. Everybody is up and down, and also we are having some issues in the southeast. You are aware that some people say that there's no movement for 5 days and all those stuff. And I watched a very traumatizing video clip yesterday. What happened in Enugu, where the 2 vehicles of APC were burnt down, and 2 occupants of that vehicle were shot on the spot. They were killed for violating their sit-at-home order by one Simeon Ekpa. I don't know where that Simeon Ekpa is coming from. Is he the second in command to Nnamdi Kanu or what? I don't know, but he gave an order of sit-at-home. Having said that, Barrister, what is the security situation in Nigeria as at now, as election is approaching?
The security situation in Nigeria, I want to believe it's a little bit better than the way it was some months back. And why I would say that, I know some school of thought may disagree with me, but you agree with me that there was a time that in between Akure to Owo, it's impossible. In between Akure to Ondo, nobody can make any trip. But I want to believe, by and large, it is getting better, but that is not our desired position, because there was a time we used to travel from here, from Ondo State to Federal Capital Territory. We take off around 6 p.m. Those days,
yeah,
when we don't have all these hoodlums on the road. And why I would still say it's getting better is that the Boko Haram cells have been demobilized. And the report we are having is that most of the people who were highly committed into sponsoring Hiswa, Boko Haram, and even some of people that are into connivance with perpetrating all these heinous crimes. Some of them have been apprehended. Their cells have been dismantled and demobilized. And that does not mean that we don't have some pockets of heat in some other places, especially the one that we have in the southern part of Nigeria, particularly the southeastern part of Nigeria, where they have decided, the so-called secessionist enclave progenitors have decided to say, okay, there must be a particular day that people must not market, people must not go to farm, people must not do it. We don't know what they are using the day for. But I want to believe it is part of ability to assert themselves that they are in full grip of the situation and they stand by what they want to do. And be that as it may, the recent one that we had is that they increased the day to 5 days, which some people never took so seriously. They took it with levity and they were dealt with. Land some party members, particularly the ruling party, maybe they had their rally or what have you, and they enter into the hands of these heinous crime perpetrators that decided to be killing their best, that decided to be killing people for no reason, and they were killed. May their gentle soul rest in peace. That is not our desired situation or situation that we actually pray for in Nigeria. There was a time that in Nigeria people do sleep by in front of their houses. Nobody get them molested, nobody abuses them. But today, I don't know if it has to do with the trend of event world over, because even in America, even in Canada, even in Britain, we still have pockets of insecurity. We learned some time ago that some people went to a particular church, and the man had, brought out the rifle and while he was trying to pull the trigger, and somebody who was security, who was more security alert more than him, gave it to him and bring him down. But I want to believe, while we are trying to nip the bud of insecurity in Nigeria, we still have some lapses in the sense that our people are not being educated enough about the effect of insecurity, and our people are still, especially our security apparatus, our security architecture is still very much overwhelmed, particularly, especially the men and officers of the security agents. They are overwhelmed to the sense that they don't, some of them don't even have contemporary modern ammunition that will be able to combat the trend of criminality, because criminality has its own trend. As you are nipping it here, it's taking another trend. So I want to believe, by and large, we are not where we were. We are moving, and I want to believe positively we get it better, especially now that the Yuletide period is here, and immediately after the Yuletide period, we are going to have the elections, the presidential, National Assembly, governors, gubernatorial election in some states, especially the number even outweigh even the number of the one that will not be going for gubernatorial election, and we have state assembly election. So I want to believe the federal government is beefing up security to make sure the tyrants don't take over the city, because when the tyrants take over the system, we may not have a state or a nation called Nigeria any longer. And I don't believe the headship of government of today want to give any chances where the hoodlums or the tyrants or the shenanigans will want to take over the system. And by the time that is happening, or that has happened, we may not have a nation to call our own any longer.
Yeah, thank you, Barrister, for your elaboration. But you say the tyrant should not take over the city. Are you telling us that the tyrant have not taken over the city now? Because if some group of people can say they are giving sit at home for 5 days, and this is in a country, in a sovereignty country, some group of people are saying that some people must not come out to showcase their responsibility, their rights as citizens. And they gave that order, and this is a country that has security forces. There was no any backup, and these people, excuse me, sir, and these people and the Nigerians came out and they were killed. In fact, those people, they will never forgive Nigeria in their grave, because don't you think that Nigeria, the country has failed them, that they cannot defend its citizens?
I want you to take a cursory look at the trend of events as they've been unfolding in the past. Even before we got here, the southeastern part of Nigeria has become a phenomenon of its own. It has become a phenomenon of the circumstance of their agitation. Agitation in the sense that, let us look at the agitation of the people who said they want a nation of their own. They don't want to be part of Nigeria. They took recourse in self-help. They declared state of their own, and they marshaled out their own laws. They set up their own soldiers. And while they are doing this, government is taking them mutantis mutandis. Government is working in a way that whatever might be their agitation, it should be marshaled out, it should be exhibited within the precinct of the law. It shouldn't be that they should take recourse in self-help, which they are doing now. And mind you, if you say the tyrants have taken over a particular section of Nigeria, sun and moon is a universal. Saying this even during Obasanjo time, where you have the Ekwesu in the southern part of Nigeria, you have even the Niger Delta Avengers. They were asking, they had their agitation. And if we are saying this here now, it is not out of place. And at the same time, one cannot say it is a novelty. We have seen it in the past. But you saw, we had a government then that was able, I don't know, in its own initiative and its own novelty, it was able to bring a solution, the permanent solution that took care of it. In the one that we have amnesty. Amnesty took care of it, and the trend went down. We have seen this situation now where this particular set of people are saying they don't want to be part of the nation. They want a nation of their own. And government is saying, do this within the confines of the law. And if that is it, you will not believe that people, you can't agree less with me that where there is agitation is just a little child of, let me say, an opera, or let me say, let me call it, what is the normal language that people are agitation for these days? People will say revolution. Is a little child of revolution, because people will revolt. People will say they don't want this. But let us look at the chunk of the number of people who are agitating for it. Is it within the interest of the 5 states in this eastern part of Nigeria? Has there been a consensus added? Has there been a concord between the 5 state governors? You see, we have this agitation within the interest of some people, and some people will say they don't want it, they want to be part of Nigeria. Out of these 5 states of the eastern part of Nigeria, 2 states are being controlled by the ruling party, while the other 3 states are being controlled by PDP. And you want to tell me that the person that is even the arrowhead of this agitation is under detention and his matter is being tried in the court? Be that as it may, these people, they believe that they are not going to blow code. Despite the fact that you even arrest their person, they are not going to blow code. They are going to continue because it's an agitation. This agitation did not just start now. It started, which even led to civil war. And I want to believe they have their right within the confines of the law to say they want this or they don't want that. And nobody is blaming them for that. But what we are saying is that it should follow this with the spirit and letters of the law, so that it will not work ultra vires of the law, so that it will not begin to result into killing. How can any reasonable person explain to me that when you are agitating for freedom, it has to be by killing your people? By the time you now get the freedom, who are the people that are now going to be with you to celebrate the freedom? So these are the things that many of us are beginning to condemn in all spheres of life, that we don't believe in killing. Look at the young man that was killed, the brother of one of the actors. He was just fell off by the bullet, not as if a stray bullet. He was deliberately killed. Many people have been killed in this process. People whom they are not supposed to kill. Look at the Professor Akunyili, the husband of the former DG Nabda. That was just killed for nothing. Yes, Dora Akunyili. So these people, I want to believe, they need to agree. They need to marshal out what they want. They need to tell people this is what they want. Who are you fighting? You are killing your people. And when you say you are fighting or you are agitating for something, it's supposed to be directed at the federal government, not by killing your people, especially innocent people, defenseless people.
Yeah, Barrister, thank you for that. Let's bring us to the issue of sectors of Nigeria agitating for a breakup. We know we have the Biafra, that is the IPOP, and we have the Yoruba Nation, that is Oduduwa, axis of the Southwest. And you just mentioned something now that just brought my attention. You said if they start killing their own or bringing their own down, who would they work with by the time the food is ready? There is a show that happened last week at the Chatham House in London, where one of the contender for the presidency went to Chatham House in person of Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu. And at the Chatham House again, fellow Yorubas who are agitating for Yoruba Nation, they went there and start calling their own songs, unprinted names. You are a Yoruba man, and I'm sure everybody wants independence. In your own opinion, what those people that went to Chatham House under the auspices of Yoruba Nation did, is it fair to Tinubu as a Yoruba man, or is it fair to we the Yorubas ourselves? How do you see that action?
Thank you very much for this very intelligent question, which requires intelligent answer. First and foremost, before I become a Nigerian, I am a Yoruba person. And before I become a Yoruba person, I first become a human being. And all this interconnectivity makes me to be an independent-minded person, which I have the right either to go to the left or go to the right under the stipulated laws of the land. But be that as it may, we have been conjoined together as citizens of Nigeria, Federal Republic of Nigeria, irrespective of
tribe,
wherever the tribe or whatever might have brought us together, irrespective of tribe, irrespective of ethnic groups, irrespective of our language, according to the letters of our national anthem. He said, no tribes or tongue we may differ, but in brotherhood we have.
Yeah.
Now, let us now look at it. What are we talking about? What connects I and you and other persons together in Nigeria is the fact that we belong to the same nation as Nigerians. And the problem that we're having in this nation today, I want to believe people that are dealing with Nigeria today, they are few people. And these few people, when they come together, they don't talk tribe, they don't talk language, they don't talk religion, they don't talk ethnicity. What binds them together is wickedness. What binds them together is oppression. What binds them together is repression. Are you telling me today that if Yorubas as a nation or the Republic of Biafra is given a republic today, they have their freedom without firing any shot and no life is lost, are we going to say we are still going to enjoy 100% freedom or peace? No, we are not going to enjoy 100% peace. The problem we have is that when we talk about corruption, corruption itself is not a human being. Corruption itself is abstract. Corruption cannot be traced to a particular tribe. Corruption is a phenomenon that can happen to anybody. You can't tell a pastor to keep a bag of rice from January till 10th month of the year, which is October, for harvest program. So keep it, and the person will be hungry. The pastor will be hungry, and by February, March, when the pastor is hungry with his family, he will have no alternative than to open the bag and begin to cook the rice for his children. That is what I meant by the level with which one can be pushed into doing, because survival is the first law of nation. When a man is pushed to that level, he no longer sees anything than to survive. But the boundary between our need stops at when we begin to look for our wants. Our need, you might need water, you drink water. I may enter your house, see your careless food on the table, I eat it. But when I begin to go into your room to carry your television and carry your radio, look for your dollars, then I am looking for wants now. The problem we have in this country is not ethnicity. The problem we have in this country is not language. The problem we have is that we have some few people who have held Nigeria in the jugular, and they will not stop. They will stop at nothing to continue. How can we explain for the past 9 years we have pipelines that have been on IC, that people have been milking the crude oil of Nigeria from it, and nobody talks? So if I am now to answer this question that you asked me, that at Chatham House, some Yoruba people went there, they begin to insult Tinubu and what have you. Let me tell you today, and please quote me anywhere, Tinubu will not succeed as a president if he's going with the intention of the fact that he's going to be a Yoruba president. He will not succeed. He will not even get there. Why many people are voting for Tinubu, why many people are clamoring for Tinubu today, is that having been tested with Lagos State as a litmus test, as a governor there for 8 years, where he appointed many tribes into positions of authority, they believe that if he's given the opportunity to replicate it all over Nigeria, he will do well. And that is why he always tells people that he's not going there. When you talk about his age, when you talk about his health, yes, when a man starts aging, his health will start failing. Even as old as I am, my health now is not as sound as it used to be when I was 20.
Of course, everybody, of course.
The man said he's not going there to play football. He's not going to World Cup. He's not going to Olympics. What he wants to use is his sense. And that is why out of about 10 questions that were presented to him, he answered 4. And he came with his wonderful team. He said to exhibit what he's going to do, to give them a piece of an iceberg. These people here, they will answer the remaining 6. And it turned to be an opera to people who do not know what governance is all about. Because Aristotle, father of logic, says no man is an encyclopedia of knowledge on his own. Interdependency emanates from specialization. If you are good in making wheat, you may not be good in making bread. If you are good in making bread, you may not be good in baking the bread itself. If you are good in baking the bread, you may not be good in selling the bread. So, but when this synergy of efforts comes together, you begin to see the end of it, which is, they said, the end will justify the means. The end of it is bread, and that is the essence of planting wheat, harvesting wheat, putting baking powder, putting this, putting that. Now, the people who are Yorubas, who are criticizing Tinubu, they have their right. Just like we have some Igbos criticizing Obi. Many Igbos, many Igbo people are criticizing Obi, that Obi is not the person, the type of person Nigeria wants. They are supporting Tinubu, and you still see some Yorubas, they are criticizing Tinubu. And you still have some Hausas criticizing
Atiku.
I think this is the type of nation. This is what we should expect this situation in this time. Because if that is not even done, Yorubas will say, when you allow a madman, you give a man's mother to the madman to go and do the carcass, what he likes to do with it. The madman may use the mother for barbecue. So when the problem, what has been missing in our politicking, What has been missing in the style of our politicking in this climb of the world is that whenever our party wins, whenever we have a particular government in power, the parties, they relax, they defend their party for anything. And I think it is high time we form a catalyst within the political parties that will be criticizing their own party by themselves, because they must know that they don't have anything to gain or to share in zero. When you lose, everybody goes back. But when you gain, when you win, everybody gains and everybody applauds. So if we begin to have catalysts, critics, prayer groups within the party that will be telling PDP, look at the way PDP lost in 2015. They begin to see themselves as demigods. They begin to rule with crass impunity. If they are gotten catalysts within the party, begin to tell them what you are doing, it is very bad. This is not a mantra of our party. This is not in our manifesto. Why are you doing this? I think our democracy will have been very robust. Our democracy will have, given more dividend than what we are doing today. All we see is if President Muhammadu Buhari misbehaves today, if any APC person criticizes him, they would declare.
The network again. The network from that end, Nigerian factor.
And which is not supposed to be. I think all we need to begin to do is to begin to do it the way the people.
Go ahead. Go ahead. We are listening. Go ahead. Comrade, you are okay. We are listening. We are with you. Comrade. Oh, it seems we lost him there, and but I know I'm still going to bring him on board. It's just the network issue. I'm still going to bring him on board. His network issue. We lost him there, and then we're trying to. Let me try and see if we can. Okay, let me see. We're going to bring him. It's Nigerian network issue. That is the problem here, but we will definitely bring it on board for my viewers. Okay.
I'm very sorry about the interruption. I think it is a network
yeah, I know it's network. Yeah.
As I was saying.
Yeah, Paris, go ahead.
I want to believe the best can be gotten from our democracy if we begin to do it the way it is being done in Senate clients. Where we got this democracy from. We got it from America, we got it from Britain. The way they are doing it is not the way we are doing it. As soon as Hugh Jaff, Jimmy Adekale becomes president, I stop to criticize you. Even when you do anything that is bad, I will be supporting you. And it doesn't make the best out of us. It messes every of our achievement. So, concerning Chatham House, I want to believe what happened at Chatham House is just the best. The man has gone to Chatham House to tell them what he wants to do, and he's a foolish person that will be doing things same way, same time, same year, and expecting different things.
Yeah, Barrister.
Tradition is for you to Chatham tradition is for you to come. They will ask you questions, and you will go back home. The man decided to say, I am not answering everything this time around. I will answer some. These are my team. And he allowed them to participate. And you can see the wonderful responses from people outside all over the world. That these people, they are brilliant guys because they have even done it.
Yeah, Barrister. Yeah. Yeah, Barrister, yeah. A good one there. But we are asking is what these people do, the actions of the Yoruba nation. Is it good? That is the question now.
When you talk about Yoruba nation, we cannot put the cart before the horse. Yoruba nation has started even before Tinubu declared his intention to become president, to declare for the presidency of Nigeria. And it will be cowardice of the Yoruba nation agitators to just so much go cool because one of them or a Yoruba person is now contesting for president, for the position of president.
No, you're not getting me. What I'm saying is that Tinubu is an individual. Yes, Yoruba nation is there, but does Tinubu deserve such a treatment from Yoruba nation? And why? What has it done? That is the question I want to trash. It's a straight question.
We are saying same thing here, and that is exactly what I'm trying to treat now. And I want you to listen to me. See, I told you that Yoruba nation agitators started the agitation before now. And I want to believe in the uniqueness of the agitators. You know, many lives have been lost to this. Many risk has been taken. Their lives are being trailed day and night. It would be too cheap an effort for them to just say because Tinubu is contesting. It's not different from even the contest that is contesting. Are they so sure that he's going to win? Are they so sure that even if he wins, with the climate, political climate in Nigeria, when it was so difficult for him to be commended for supporting President Muhammadu Buhari, you know the process made him to even emerge as the candidate of the party. So these people believe that you don't price a monkey on the tree. It will be foolhardy and insensitive of any wise man to price a monkey that is just jumping from one tree to another and say, I am going to buy this one that is jumping like, what about if you don't get it in the first place? So I want to believe in the uniqueness and the ingenuity of the agitators. They know what they are doing, and I will not blame them for whatever. All what I believe they are out for is we stand on our agitation. Even if you become president, maybe we are still going to stand as catalysts. And mind you, we have quite a lot of problems in Nigeria.
But barrister, does that make them to go to Chatham House and call Tinubu only thief? These are the questions we're asking.
I don't believe the agitators of Yoruba Nation were the only ones at Chatham House.
Yes, but what happened is that I want you to go and watch the video clip again. There were a lot of them holding the Yoruba Nation's flag and were shouting Tinubu only, Tinubu only. So our question here is, is it right? Nobody said that they should not agitate for their nation, but why attacking an individual? What is their motive? What is their reason?
It will be very wrong. It will be very wrong, I must tell you. It will be very wrong if anybody at the level with which they claim they are now abroad, which ordinarily will give them a little advantage above people here in Nigeria. Why I say so is they are exposed to laws that guides information, like laws that regulates woman and relationship and interpersonal relationship. If at that level you are not guided by the principle within the principle of the law, and all you are doing is to begin to rail curses and abuses at people and begin to call the person chief, especially from his own extraction, it is very, very condemnable and it is very bad. But be that as it may, the people who were gathered there that day, I want to believe some of them are not even Nigerians. It is not the first time that you see many people that when they want to do anything outside Nigeria, some people will go and employ some nationals from other countries and give them money, that this is what they want them to do. So you will not be surprised if somebody who is not even a member of agitators of Oduduwa Republic, that the person will be carrying a flag of Oduduwa Republic and will be chanting Tinubu Ole and what have you. That does not make me to say that we cannot find it among Yorubas. But any Yorubas that will do that will be counted and will be seen as a bastard, because we have seen some irregularities in the administration of Nigeria, which even made Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, as nationalistic as he is, he has condemned it many times that This style of rulership that we're experiencing is very, very wrong. And you know my position. I am the global coordinator, Yoruba fundamental rights defender. We will defend the rights of all Yorubas all over the world, irrespective of where they are, by using our pen and by using our mouth to defend them. We are not using gun, we are not using ammunition. And I think according to Shakespeare, he said, pens are mightier than sword. And I want to believe, if anybody that believes in the cause of Yoruba will go to Chatham House or go anywhere and begin to call another Yoruba person chief for no reason, that person is a bastard.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, Barrister. From that end now, let us go to this vital question. It's a national issue. You know, before now, the belief is that Buhari is not working. Buhari has failed Nigerians, and what have you. And of recent, we heard about the Wike bubble box, which I'm sure you are aware of it, where Wike came on and said, look, yes, he's not part of the party of APC. He is an opposition, but he has to say the truth about the president, and he opened the can of worms. Monies accrued to states that have not been paid since the time of Obasanjo. That is from the inception of democracy. That Obasanjo did not pay. Yeah, Obasanjo did not pay. Jonathan did not. Even Jonathan from the riverine area did not pay. Understand? And Buhari came on board, and unknown to Nigerians, Buhari have been paying this money to states. And with the money they are paying to states, there have been insecurity in those various states. There have been non-payment of salaries in those various states. There have been no developer projects in those states. How do you, with the recent revelation, how do you grade Mr. President compared to what people are saying?
In all fairness, I have never lost hope in the person of President Muhammadu Buhari. Even from the beginning, I believed in his pedigree in the past, the rulership of his Tunde Idiagbon of blessed memory. We call them rulers. Militaries ruled by military fiat. And they did well during their time, despite the fact that many people criticized them before the intervention of President Muhammadu Buhari, the man who legalized corruption and made everything free. Even despite the fact that even in Freetown, nothing was free, nothing is ever free. Because if they had allowed that government to not up and that government to be for about 7-10 years, Nigeria, I am so sure, I'm very confident that Nigeria wouldn't have been where it is today. Be that as it may, Buhari faced a lot of situation. Immediately he was voted in. Buhari is like a man who had threatened to perform some responsibilities, especially the matrimonial responsibility to a woman. That having suffered, and having passed through a very tortuous route before getting the woman eventually, when the woman has said, I am ready, he has no power to perform his consummation. I believe you understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because we are in the... But what I'm saying here is that the man contested up to 3 times. Eventually, he was given opportunity. Contemporaneously, immediately when he was sworn in, he fell sick, and nobody, in fact, seeing Buhari today still moving is we never knew this man can move because many people had lost hope that he was going to die. Within that time, some terrible people took charge of the system. And you know what it means when you have ordinary wicklow in your finger. You know how painful it could be, how much more when you are diagnosed of a particular ailment. No, though it has not been officially announced, but you know, at that time, some of us were made to understand that it's one of those sicknesses that threatens life-threatening sickness. And within that time, some people call themselves, what's it called, cabals and what have you. They took charge of the system and they started doing all that they think they could do. But with the little the man has been able to do, if you are in Nigeria now, you see train. The type of train we are using in Nigeria now is no longer the locomotive type of train. If you enter Nigeria train now, you enjoy AC, you enjoy the comfort, the ambience like what is found abroad. These were things that could not be done even in the past. The Lagos-Ibadan expressway that has taken many years to be done, though the contract was awarded during Goodluck Jonathan time, which never took effect. This government had done it. The second Niger bridge that has become like forever. It may not happen. It is going to be commissioned by December. Quite a lot. During this time, he took a giant strike that no single seed of rice is going to be imported to Nigeria, that it is going to be locally farmed, and many people were giving money. But unfortunately, because of failure, because of insecurity, the dividend has not come, which has made, you know, a bag of rice, the price of a bag of rice to have really gone up. But we believe by the special grace of God, with the way the insecurity is being nipped at the bud now, I want to believe by next year the price will be going up. But that does not mean that there are no failures. There are many failures in this government. But with the recent one that you have just mentioned, it is so novel, very novel, and what an applaud for President Muhammadu Buhari. This is an Hausa man that crude oil was not found in his place. This is a Muslim. Most of the governors, the states that are going to enjoy this 30% derivation, they are predominantly Christian. You understand that? This is a Fulani man. Then you now begin to look at it. It's not a northern thing. This is a southern thing. This money was not paid even during the 16-year rule of the PDP. It was paid silently. The man did not even mention it. You know, at times, our style of governance at times could begin to run at variance at each other. This man never mentioned it. In fact, Wicked, I used to criticize him. He gave him an award. And people started seeing why Wicked even started building bridges, you know, building some edifice and, you know, doing some wonders in River State. Nobody ever knew, because even within me I was saying, is this how rich Rivers is? But Rivers is not as rich as Lagos. Lagos is doing quite a lot, but not as much as the little that Rivers is having, and this man is using it. Until one day, without being monitored, without being told, without being pushed, the man said, people keep asking me, where do I get money? He said, I didn't do ritual. He said, what happened is that?
Oh, network. Sorry there, we're still, is the network, we'll continue to monitor it, and I'm afraid it may go off and we'll come back again.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The money got accrued for many years. And this is where the wonders are coming from. And it is quite repulsive, quite wicked quite heinous of even some of the governors, because Rivers State did not take the chunk of the of the amount.
No.
Delta State took more. Delta State took close to 200, or let's say within the numbers of about 160 something billion. This same Rivers State governor, after collecting this money, still went to the capital market, or what is it called, to go and look for bond, to go and get loan of close to 200 billion naira. And it was so wicked that even some states, like some citizens, some indigenous of some states, got to know that some monies are being given out as a result of the content or the quantum of oil that is being gotten from their states. So what are we going to do now? I think we need to applaud this man who did this thing secretly and who did this novelty. So if for any reason I want to nominate President Buhari, I want to use this up.
Where would you?
I want to use this medium. Yes, we may.
Network, Nigerian network. And I'm using fiber optic here. Where would you?
Having taken this giant stride, and coupled with the fact that the trend of event is showing us that President Buhari is going to conduct a 2023 rancor-free election, which is going to be done electronically. With this one that he has just done, I want to believe, I want to suggest that Savannah News Television nominates. I want to nominate President Buhari as the man of the year, and I want to enjoy Savannah News Television to give President Muhammadu Buhari an award for this.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that suggestion. You know, we have a board here, and it's left for the board to decide. I'm just a CEO of the television station.
Please,
thank you.
Take my message to the board.
Yeah, thank you.
Take my message to the board.
Thank you. Yeah, you have mentioned about the windfall of whatever I've just explained now, and you said Buhari needs to be awarded. I mean, to be rewarded, given an award. Barrister Mosua, you are in Akure State capital. You are in Ondo State, and you move around because of your jobs as a lawyer. And you have heard about the windfall accrued to Ondo State. This is a very sensitive question. I want you to just give us a direct answer. I know you are from that other end where Mr. Governor comes from, you know. But in all fairness, by what they said that that money is collected by local government and by the state government of Ondo State, is there anything to justify this amount of money that has come to the state?
Thank you, Mr. Jaff. You got me premeditated, and I wouldn't like that style of journalism, especially when you say I am from a particular side. I am a Nigerian, mind you, and I had contested for House of Reps in Owo Federal constituency.
Yeah.
There are some people who are reaping the dividend of democracy in Nigeria and Ondo State today that we are even older than in politics. But everybody has his own time.
Yeah.
And that is the reason why when you are during your own time, I do my own criticism conscientiously within the principle of whatever that we need to discuss, and I don't bring any other extraneous issue to it. To the question you asked, we in Ondo State, you know, I've always been an Abuja person.
Okay.
It was politics that brought me to Akure recently. And with what I have been saying in Ondo State, because I think that's the question, and I know you are waiting patiently to hear from me what I will say about that. I wouldn't want to aggregate the windfall. I wouldn't want to aggregate the performance of the governor on the windfall that was just announced recently, especially when we don't know when the windfall came, when we don't know how much that has been collected. You know, as a lawyer, we were trained to believe that indictment or assumption, no matter how gigantic or how magnificent it is, it cannot stand an iota of an evidence. So, be that as it may, when we talk about commensurating or juxtaposing the level of development in Ondo State with the recently announced windfall, I think it will be too hasty of me. Quote me, Mr. Jaff Adekale. If there is something contrary, you know I will still come to this studio to talk. If there is something contrary, but I want to believe it is too hasty of me. It will be too hasty of me to begin to juxtapose, to begin to aggregate, to begin to say, oh, this is what has been done with the quantum of the windfall that is accruable to Ondo State. I need to know how much that Ondo State has gotten. I need to know when it was released, because recently, I think I read it in the news today. I don't know how true it is. They said the former, I don't know, Niger Delta boys or what have you in Ondo State, they gave the state governor 14 days
ultimatum
to explain the ultimatum, to explain how he has spent the money. I think this is making our democracy to be very robust. It is, we have, because those days we don't have prayer groups any longer. We don't have people who, we don't have critics any longer. So I want to believe with this type of situation, and more so, I want to believe with this type of pressure, with this type of questioning, with this type of questions, I want to believe that the governor will be in better position to explain this, and not verbal explanation alone. Res ipsa loquitur, according to the Latin maxim. They say, let the situation speak for itself. I want to believe your question.
The network again. Okay, we are back.
Yes.
Yeah, we are still here.
Your question is, has the situation spoken in tandem with the windfall? I want to believe that's the question. But I can assure you, I don't have the answer to it now. And no matter, I can only give you presumption. And I believe my presumption will not answer it.
Okay. Okay.
With the pressures, with proofs, and with questions. And mind you, the governor said, he said, he's going to pay all salaries, salaries that has accrued, even, I think, before the end of this year. By the time that is done to January, February, I want to believe we'll have known where we are going. And I can assure you, if I am invited to this studio by that time, I will be able to be part of the people who will have been able to say either there has been mischief or the governor has to be tapped at the back.
Okay.
Having done any good to.
Okay, Barrister, thank you very much for that. This thing. Your explanation now leads me to one question. I'm throwing this question to you as a lawyer, a barrister at law. Because when the issue of the windfall came, you said you don't know whether when the money came in or whatever. The breakdown is very very clear when all those monies came down. Those monies came in trenches, and the latest one was even in this was in November. It was just this November, the last payment that came. They came in trenches.
Okay.
Right?
The last payment.
Yeah. They didn't come at once. So far, 27.8 billion came as windfall, not 27, 27.8 billion came as the windfall, not the allocation, just the windfall, whatever. Now, as a lawyer, I want to throw it to you. When this issue came, the media aides to the governor, they rushed to the media, they rushed to the press, and they said, yes, the money came, we spend the money for so road, we spend the money for so project, like that. But our question is, when the money came, before Mr. Governor starts spending the money, did he seek approval from the State Assembly? Was there a supplementary budget to cover that monies that came in? As a lawyer, has he done the right thing, or what he has done, is he under the law? Is it enough to impeach the governor?
We are still talking as far as this issue is concerned based on assumption. And I've told you, I will take all these questions as an assignment, which ordinarily, or let me call it investigative assignment, which ordinarily, if I am given an opportunity to come back, we will have assisted ourselves, especially when we all know that we are all stakeholders here. And if there has been any level of mischief, it is going to be extreme here. I am hearing it for the first time now that the money came by November.
The last
Even
batch.
The last tranche.
Yeah.
Last tranches, yes. Now, the last of the tranches. Now, if that is it, thank God for the for your question. It's like a guide even to my answering it, but I may not be able to answer all for now until when I carry out my investigation, which I see as an assignment.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Thank you.
I want to believe if such money had come like that, the State House of Assembly ought to have been communicated, and it behoves the government of the people, by the people, for the people, to let the state know that we got so amount of money. Why is it that even Abacha's money, which ordinarily was released by US will never announce it, Britain will never announce it, it's Nigerians that will still announce it. If we are always being briefed about how things are going, Paris Club money and what have you, if we can get that, I want to believe it behoves on the government, which they say they are serving, it behoves on them to let the people know amount of money, because it is a public money and being guided by public document. Either they are there or they are going to leave. It is going to be on record that so money was released. So either somebody is not telling anybody now, or the person is telling later, or it is going to be discovered later. It is like a bone that is tied to the neck of a dog. The dog cannot eat it. That is one. After the announcement, if it is now going to be spent, it has that, we need to do some adjustment in our budget. So money came, and we need to do an adjustment on it, and we have to spend it. It is not a money that somebody can so much to spend. But I still want to aggregate our discussion here on presumption.
Okay.
Thank God for information technology. This is a public document. It is, in fact, they call it a notorious fact. The whole world will know what has gone wrong or what has gone better.
Okay.
The event unfolds.
Yeah, no problem, Barrister. I get your point there, but let me just for our viewers who are watching, with the information available to us on Savannah News Television, we wish to just reel out just briefly in just 2 minutes. Yes, money came in trenches from the center fractional account, which is from the oil excess crude account, and it has been confirmed by the senior special assistant on media to Mr. President Garba Shehu. He confirmed it, and the media aide of the governor in Ondo State, they confirmed yes, money came in. But what we have not confirmed is, and the Ondo State House of Assembly has confirmed that they did not know, they are not aware that money came in to the state via our own personal friends. It's not official now, but members of the assembly who are our personal friends, we through call to them, we place call to them, and they confirm, look, we are not aware of these monies. And that's why we're trying to draw our conclusion that alone is an impeachable offense. That money came, the money of the people came, and the custodian of the money hid it from the people, because as you are aware, salaries are still not being paid in full to our civil servants. Having said that, Barrister, quickly before we go, because we have less than 5 minutes, what is your parting words for the people for the forthcoming general election in Nigeria, as the executive director of the Masses Parliament?
My parting words for Nigerians, as far as the next election is concerned, is that we should not expect a malnutritious child, which is Nigeria, in temptation. Nigeria is a malnutritious child now that needs to be fed to its normal stature. But feeding Nigeria to its normal stature will not take a day. It requires a systemic feeding. A systemic feeding. Nigerians should not expect a messiah come 2023, but they should expect a unifier. A unifier. Nigeria has never been this divided. We need somebody who will accept Igbo person as his brother, sister, who will accept Kanuri person as his brother and sister, who will accept Hausa, Ishekiri, Isoko, and Pombize, and what have you, as his brother and sister, who will accept Yoruba as his brother and sister. And such person must be somebody who has track of event, somebody who is pedigree based on capability. If we throw these qualities away and we are looking for somebody who is going to make Nigeria good magically, somebody, a magician, who will say, don't worry, I can command and conjure a road for you, I can command and conjure electricity for you. Mind you, he will conjure it as a magician. And such things he has conjured will disappear. We need somebody who can perform miracle. Miracle based on experience. And what is this miracle? No, you cannot build something on nothing. You have to build something on nothing. Somebody must have a foundation. Do not allow Mr. Naked to promise you the gift of clothes. If he promises you the gift of clothes, ask the person, what is your name? If you have clothes, why are you naked? And it brings me down to the 3 contestants, because I cannot deny the fact that I belong to a particular political party. I am a member of APC. APC has tried as far as this nation is concerned. It is unfortunate that by interregnum or by some act of God or whatever may be, we have had some interjection and interruption. But with what is on ground, The foundations have been laid, and I want to believe we need somebody that can take Nigeria to another level, and we have found that in nobody than Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has done that in Lagos. He's a detribalized person. He has spread his tentacle all over the nation, and that is, by the time you want to look at the attribute of somebody who is going to win, number one, he must be criticized. Number one, he must be on top at all time. Number three, he must be the topic every time. And Tinubu has this three now working for him. So I want us to begin to look inwards and begin to allow this man to replicate what he has done in the past. Look at Lagos. Lagos is like a country on its own. Check the security. I said there was a time I went to Lagos. You can, if you want to enter some places in Lagos now, you need some code to enter Lagos. Criminality has been brought to its barest minimum. A lot of things happening in Lagos. Look at the IGR. It has even gotten to a level where you can even put 15 states IGR together. Lagos is bearing one. So this man has taken Lagos to another level, and he has replicated this all over the whole nation. This is the type of person I think Nigeria needs now. Nobody should tell us that he's sick. Nobody should tell us that he's old. He's not going there to kick football. He's not going there to run cross-country race. What he's going to use is his brain. And that is what he has exhibited in Chatham House, where he answered some questions, and he allows his lieutenant who are going to work with him to answer with him. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Barrister Omosua Esquire. Thank you very much for your time this morning, and we are very we are happy to host you.
Thank you.
And you have marshaled all the points sent to you, and we say thank you once again from Savannah News Television.
And there is another addition I want to add in before Savannah winds up, please. Governor Emefiele must be told to, with immediate effect, stop this cashless policy that is trying to introduce into Nigeria economy. We see it as being abnormal. We see it as being immature. We see it as being wicked. How can you say you want to, Nigerians should be withdrawing 20,000 naira every day? The highest they can withdraw in a week is 100,000 naira. In a system where if you do transaction today, your alert may not be gotten within 3 days. In a situation where you want to do cashless, it must be a situation where your internet is good, where there is cash at some point, where you have available. In fact, tell me, most of the habitation places in Nigeria, they are villages. They are not urban areas. And if I want to buy cocoa in Idori, the only thing I can carry to the place is 20,000 naira. With people who have their banana taken from Ofosu forest, put by the road. If I want to buy banana, I want to buy plantain, I will, if I don't have money, I will tell a man who does not have POS, who does not have bank account, I'm going to transfer money to him. The cashless policy is targeted at something, and I want to believe it's as a result of the fact that he was precluded from contesting for presidency of Nigeria, and he want to give this government a bad image. And I want to tell him that Nigerians should join us by telling him that he should stop that. It is very, very obnoxious and it's very wicked. And because no government policy is always anti the people. It must not be anti the people. No government policy must be anti the people. Look at during military. Why is it that this thing is happening during our civil government? During military, before military can carry out any policy, it must have been announced. Look at during military era when they wanted to introduce structural adjustment program, when they wanted to introduce MASA, we have a National Orientation Agency. They will announce it for 6 months, and people will begin to dissect it and begin to look at it. But in a civil society, people just bring out policies that are so wicked, and it is not.
Okay.
It is not.
Okay.
I want Nigerians to join us
Okay.
and to condemn this obnoxious policy.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm sure the message will get to the appropriate quarters because a lot of our viewers are are close to him too. They are close to Mayfield because I may tell you that the CBN governor Mayfield was my senior egbon. I'm sure it will surprise a lot of people. We both grew up in Morocco in Lagos. He was a big brother then. He was a big brother more than us, and we all grew up in Morocco. I used to run errands for him when we were in Morocco in those days. That is where you have VGC of today. It used to be a suburbs in Lagos. I haven't just said that. That's just by the way. Thank you very much, Barrister Omosua. Thank you for your time this morning once again. Thank you. Yeah, gentlemen and ladies, we just finished speaking with Barrister Omosua Olufemi Mayor, a human rights activist, a public affairs analyst, and the executive director, African Masses Parliament. I'm sure you have heard from him on issues relating to economy, to policy, and to politics. You have heard from him. I haven't said that. And I'm sure that we have learned 1 or 2, 3 things from what is happening. And as I said, my promise from this studio that we will continue to educate, continue to expose what is going on in Nigeria, in Ondo State in particular. And we will be having another guest on that same issue of the oil windfall. And this guest will be coming from the riverine area. And very soon in this studio, we'll be having a guest to throw more light because, as you are aware, they have given the governor 14 days ultimatum to explain how the money accrued to them at the riverine has been expended, and we want to know whether it passed due process. And having said that from this end, it's just 5:20. I have to go and take my sleep now, because I've been awake for the past since yesterday because work around the clock, you know. And so also I will use this medium to thank my my followers, my viewers across the globe. Thank you for your time. We will continue to bring to you revelations. We will continue to bring to you exposures of what is going on in Nigeria, in states, and wherever. We are not here to winch anybody. We are here to criticize, to make sure we bring people to come and say it the way it is. The way it is. Because Savannah News Television is better because for good governance and for a better Nigeria. Good morning from here, and have a pleasant Sunday. I have to go and sleep for some few hours before going to worship my God too as well. So thank you all my viewers across the globe that have been watching us. I say again, thank you from Savannah News Television, and God bless.
Like and subscribe to our page on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at Savannah News TV. Tune in and watch Savannah News TV. We are live. Savannah News TV. We create awareness about our place in Africa. Savannah News TV. We are distinct, we are focused to deliver top-notch news in Savannah News TV. Equitable reporting without fear or favor. Savannah News TV. To say positive change for us and our environment is our aim. Savannah News TV. Tune in and watch Savannah News TV. We are live. Savannah News TV. Our CEO Prince Radekonde Oluchimi for Savannah News TV. I'm a living witness. Keep watching Savannah. Savannah News TV. Like and subscribe to our page on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at Savannah News TV.